Hello there kids, today you're going to learn how to solve pie charts. Okay? So magsasolve tayo ng pie chart. So basahin muna natin that the pie chart below shows the number of students learning foreign languages at a school. Study it carefully and answer the following questions. So by simply looking at the pie chart, no, you can obviously notice itong right angle na to. Siya yung pinakamabilis nating pwedeng manotice right away, the right angle. When you say a right angle, it forms a 90 degrees, and in a circle, it basically implies that this portion is equivalent to 1/4. Okay, so 1/4 yan. Yan yung clue natin. That's one clue. Another one that you'll be able to see is you see a straight line. So which means straight line yan from midpoint. This shows 50%, or basically 1/2 of the total number of students who are learning foreign languages. Okay. So question A, tingnan mo natin how we'll be able to answer. No? Letter A, the number of students learning French is twice the number of learning Spanish. How many students are learning French? Okay, ang sabi niya that the number of students learning French is twice the number of those learning Spanish. So kung 80 ang Spanish and French refers to twice, ano bang twice? Times 2. So what could be the total number of students who are learning French? Okay, so nandyan na yun. Medyo obvious na yun, ha? For letter B, the number of students, how many students are there at this school? Okay, so if i-draw ko lang ulit yung circle dito, and to note that half of it, no, you already have your answer here. So yung sa letter A ninyo, that is already half of the population. So what is the total, or how many students are there? Lahat-lahat. Pag half nyan is your answer in A, ilang students kaya lahat-lahat? Okay, so medyo obvious yan. It's very obvious because your answer in A represents half the population already. Okay, so letter C, the number of students learning Japanese is 3/20 of all students. So ibig sabihin, if you're going to write this in an equation, you can say that this is 2/30 of total students. If you remember, you have learned about this, no? All you need to do now is to find your total students, which is your answer in B, no? Then from there, you'll be able to proceed with the operation involved on how to solve for the total number of students learning Japanese. And D, what fraction of the students are learning French? So medyo obvious na because I already gave the answer. You are asked for a fraction of students learning French. Okay, so that is for number 1. I'm going to select only numbers in which I'm going to assist you. The rest you will do it on your own. Okay, just like this one actually. Parang magaguide ko kayo in some numbers. But I will see if I will be able to leave you with a certain number or certain numbers to work on alone. Okay, so tingnan ko muna ang following number. Okay, number 2. The pie chart below represents the number of tourists staying at Hotel Orchid in the month of November. Study it carefully and answer the following questions. So, may mga clues tayo dyan that you can notice. Yung clues natin dito. Japan, 45%. Indonesia, 12%. Malaysia, 26%. So even before answering, you'll be able to get the hint of that. So add nyo lang muna yung lahat, 45, 12, and 26. Whatever your answer is, subtract it from 100. Then that will be your answer for the percentage of China, which happens to be the question natin sa letter A. Okay, what percentage of the tourists were from China? Okay, so now you know whatever your answer there is. For letter B, what was the total number of tourists staying at Hotel Orchid during November? So, dito kasi, you're asked to solve for the total number of tourists for yang sa pie chart na yan, representing this pie chart that we have. And the only data that you have here is that for China, no? Kasi you have your actual and you also have your percentage, which is basically in this case, sasabihin ko na lang po sa inyo that the answer here is 17. 17% yan. Ang for letter A. Okay. So you know that 476 represents 17%. Bakit ko binigay yung answer? Kasi I have to. Kasi if not, if I'll be explaining this through an unknown, you'll be left with a question mark in your head. Okay? So, you need to know muna ngayon what is the value for every 1% alone. You already know that for every 17%, it's equivalent to 476. Now, all you need to do now is to find out kung ilan ang population or the number of tourists represent 1%. To do that, all you need to do is to take 476 divided by 17. And whatever your answer here is your answer for every 1%. Okay? 1% pa lang yun. We're talking about 1% alone. Since you're asked for total, this should be equivalent to 100%. So, ibig sabihin, whatever your answer here is, just multiply it with 100 to give you the total of 100%. And from there, you'll be able to answer since you already have the population of 100%. All you need to do is to understand the question dyan sa C and sa D to help you solve the problem. Okay, so for example, sa letter C, how many more Malaysian tourists than Indonesian tourists stayed in Hotel Orchid during November? So all you need to do, Malaysian tourists, 26% off, no? 26% of total. Tapos yung Indonesian tourist is 12% of total. So from there, all you need to do is to take their difference. I-minus nyo lang. Whatever your answer here is, minus the answer here, and that will be your answer for letter C. Letter D naman, there is an increase problem here. So basic rate natin yan. Increase by 20%. So you already know how to do this. So I'll leave this with you na. Okay? Okay, so sa number 3 naman, the pie chart below represents 360 families living in a neighborhood. Study it carefully and answer the following questions. Then again, you have a certain clue here which represents 25% or 1/4. So from there alone, pwede nyo na kaagad makuha. For your data gathering muna tayo. Okay, before engaging with the ABCD, questions A, B, C, and D, kuha muna kayo ng information from the pie chart that you can see right now. If you notice that families with one child represents 1/4, so that's 1/4 of your total here, which is 360. So from there, makukuha nyo yung total number of families with one child. Then dito naman, all you need to do is to take 1/3 of the total number of families that you have, which is in this case is 360. 1/3 of 360. Okay, ganun lang. Kunin nyo lang yan. I-solve nyo lang yan. Data gathering muna tayo. Then for the rest, pwede nyo na i-answer yung we'll see how you lead your answers to. You know? So sa A natin, you have how many families have 2 children? Families with 2 children. So in this case, whatever your answer here is, that's your answer for A. Okay? So sa B, find the total number of families with 3 children and with no children. We're talking about this part. Ito. 1, 2. So obviously, all you need to do is just to take the total number of families minus sa yung 1/4 na yan, yung answer nyo sa 1/4 at saka yung answer nyo sa 1/3. Okay, I'm not giving you that kasi kung bibigay ko sa answer dito, ako na yun, how will I grade you? Paano kayo, how will you learn if I'm just going to give you the process, entire process talaga? Technically, I'm giving you the process. What I'm leaving you now is with the solving alone. Okay? This is 1/4 of 360 minus 1/3 of 360. So whatever your answers here, of course, you already have your answer here and here. So yan lang yung ima-minus nyo sa 360 and that will be your answer for letter B. Proper comprehension lang kasi talagang kailangan dito. Okay? Proper comprehension. Okay, so it says there that the ratio of the number of families with no children to the number of families with 3 children is 4:1. So big sabihin yung no children represents 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4. And yung with 3 children, you have only 1 unit. Okay, this is in relation to letter B. You'll be able to get to solve this. Ratio to ha, this is basic ratio. Whatever your answer here is in letter B, no? This represents 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That this all 5 units is equivalent to your answer in letter B. All you need to do now is just to divide your answer in letter B by 5 for you to be able to find each unit. Kada isang unit yan. Okay, each unit. And from there, what is asked here, how many families have no children? Okay, how many families daw with no children? Okay, dito naman sa letter D, this is quite confusing. Okay, this is quite confusing. Okay. Anyway, going back to letter C muna. Families with no children. Remember that the families with no children represents 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 4 na units yan. Whatever your answer here is, multiply nyo lang by 4. That will now be your answer for letter C. Okay, going to letter D, let me just, allow me to erase everything muna. Kasi this will, para to avoid confusion, kasi we need the space. Just to let you know, itong topic na to is one of the most mahirap, difficult to teach. But wala akong problema dito with Rams group. Straight. Actually, wala akong in-explain. Straight sila nag-answer without my help. I was actually surprised. So anyway, I hope ganun din sa end ninyo. So going back for letter D, find the total number of children in the neighborhood. First things first, you should find out how many families you have here. Multiply it with 1 because that is we only have 1 child here. Dito naman, you already have your total number of families there. All you need to do here is to multiply it by 2. Dito naman, how many families you have, multiply it by 3. Dito naman is hindi kasali because there are no children. So, times 0 po. Yan. Okay, there's none. Then from there, all you need to do is to take your answer here, here, and here. And that will be your answer for letter D. Okay? So, tignan natin kung ano pa ba yung ma-assist ko sa inyo. I basically already gave you hints for 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I will skip number 4. I will leave number 4 to you kasi halos nandun lahat ng information that you need to para ma-answer ninyo. Kailangan nyo lang ng focus. Okay, so kasi pie charts nga, like what I've said, one of the most difficult topics to teach. Itong dito sa libro found in your book. Okay, so the pie chart below represents the number of cups of ice cream sold at a restaurant. Study it carefully and answer the following questions. So may data tayo, walang fraction. What we have percentage there? For chocolate, you have 20. For strawberry, you have 15. And for mango, you have actual number of cups for mango, which is 56. Okay, so yun lang yung mga clues natin. Walang percentage, walang fraction, walang right angles that will represent 25% immediately. Wala. Okay. So going back, the ratio of the number of cups of yum ice cream to the number of cups of mango ice cream. So ratio tayo ha. Meron tayong yum, mango, vanilla, sold at the restaurant was 2:4:7. So 2:4:7. How many cups of yum and vanilla ice cream were sold? So you're asked for yum and vanilla. Okay, knowing that ratio natin, Ito yung mga tinatanong ha, dalawa. Change ko lang muna. Yum and vanilla. So that's yum and vanilla ito. Yum and vanilla. Sa mango, you already have your data. If you still remember your topic, no? This is your ratio and your actual value is blank for yum. For mango, you have 56. But for your vanilla is also blank. So this is now familiar to you. If I'm going to rewrite this, that will be equivalent to 2 is to 4 is to 7 equals blank is to 56. Is to 56 is to blank. So from there, this will be able to help you solve for the value. If you still remember, pairing yan tayo. This is how you solve it. So you already know. Hanapin nyo lang yung topics natin about sa ratio. Kasi nga, dapat nga, you're not supposed to forget itong mga basic na process on how to solve. So ratio, this is how you will lead your answer with letter A. Okay, going back. Kasi nga, once you'll be able to solve for A, that will help you solve for B, C, and D. Most likely. Kasi sila ang makakatulong sa inyo because you are filling in the data para sa pie chart nyo. Kasi kailangan nyo rin hanapin yung total eh. How many cups of strawberry and chocolate ice cream were sold? Nako, ito medyo mahirap to kasi you need to find the total of vanilla, mango, and yum, which is ito na nga, which represents all this. Ito. Once you'll have your answer here, add nyo lang muna yung lahat sa kanila. Okay, add nyo muna yung lahat sa kanila. And this will represent the other half of the percentage. Kasi if you'll know, total nga natin is 100%. And chocolate and strawberry, meron tayong 20% and 15%. Add them both, you have 35%. Which means there's a remaining 65%, which is for the total of ito na nga. Itong pinag-uusapan natin dito ngayon. This blue part. Okay, ilagay ko lang yan dyan. Kasi nga, kailangan ko bigyan yung sagot. I mean, for you to fully understand talaga, I need to put the answer. Pero what's the point kung ibibigay ko sa inyo yung sagot? Okay? Mawawala yung sense of this. So anyway, once you'll be able to identify this part, yung sa yum at saka sa vanilla, all you need to do is to total them. And that will represent your 65%. And like what we did with number 1, all you need to do here, what you want to do is to find the value of every 1%. So doing so, all you need to do is to take 65, the total number of, yung sa blue part, ito, yung may smiley na dyan. Blue part divided by 65. That will represent 1%. And from there, kailangan nyo lang gawin ngayon, once you have your answers, to multiply it by 35%. Not 35%, by just 35 because 1% ang representation natin dito. And that will be your answer for letter B. For letter C naman, it says there that from there, data gathering kayo, you'll be able to find out kung ano na yung mga ice creams, the total number of ice creams. So from there, malalaman nyo kung which ice creams were of the same number of cups. Okay, so sa letter C naman, how many cups of ice cream were sold all in all? So, i-total nyo lang lahat. Ilan yung sa vanilla, ilan yung sa mango, ilan yung sa yum, sa chocolate, and sa strawberry. Okay. So, then again, I understand if you're having hard time kasi talagang this is a hard topic for us. No? Talagang mahirap talaga to. So, let us see ano pa yung ma-guide ko sa inyo na numbers. So, I'm scrolling yung mga remaining numbers, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Halos madali lang naman kasi all are represented by fractions. At this point, for example, sa number 6, may half agad, 1/2, may 1/3, may 1/18. So, sa parents na lang yung kailangan yung hanapin na percentage, fraction. Dito naman, x and y sa straight line passing through the midpoint. So, that's obviously, mathematics represents 50% or 1/2 or represents 1/2 of the population. Mga clues ninyo yan. Try nyo on your own, okay? Comprehension, reading comprehension. That's comprehension is the most important thing that you should have as a student. Kasi wala kayong comprehension, wala kayong maintindihan. Wala. Wala kayong magagawa. Okay, so please try to understand what you're reading. Hindi pa nga binasa. Teacher Mark, can we use this? Teacher Mark, can we do that? Teacher Mark, Teacher Mark, Teacher Mark, Teacher Mark. Read and understand muna tayo. Okay? Dito naman, sa zoo represents, there's a right angle. So, ibig sabihin that represents 25% or 1/4. Museum, meron din tayong 15%. So, from there, data are already given. So, try to do this on your own. Number 9 and 10 as well, nandyan na. If non-fiction is 40%, ano yung fiction? Obviously, so all you need to do is to remove 40 from 100, so that will give you 60. So fiction is equivalent to 60%. Then from there, medyo confusing to to be honest, because of the sa fiction, there is an English and non-English. Sa non-fiction, there are also English and non-English. So there are like two groups here of English and non-English books. So number 10 naman, may representation of fraction as well. May clues naman involving ratio as well. So yun na. So just message me if you need assistance or need clarification. I will appreciate it more if you tried it first before you're going to ask me. Mas gusto ko yung sinubukan nyo muna rather than not trying at all. Kasi when you try it and you seem to get confused on how to do it, mas makakatulong yun sa part ko to see where you committed an error. And also, it will be better, you will understand more. Ganun pala yun. So the process is supposed to be done that way pala, not this way. So dapat i-try nyo din muna talaga bago nyo i-submit sa akin yung questions ninyo. Okay, so anyway, good luck. I know this is a very hard topic. So yun na. Just message me. Of course, with your process where you're confused. Okay? So I will try to help you all throughout. Okay, bye-bye.